Virtual Tarot. I'm Ava.
And I am Trudy.
And welcome to Egypt.
And to the Great Giza Pyramid.
To the Great Giza Pyramid and to ancient Egypt, in fact.
During the time of Isis.
During the time of Isis.
We're in the Old Kingdom right now, and you made your journey all the way through this beautiful pyramid.
Yes.
And now we're sitting out near the pool of Isis.
Yes, so this is where they frolicked.
Which we're about to do after this reading,
we'll
right?
be frolicking after this.
So, anyway, Gemini.
Yes, Gemini.
Okay.
All right, so welcome to this wonderful place where we're going to deliver our oracle for you for the month of May. And let's do a little recap from last month.
All right.
Oh, last month was a very interesting month for Gemini.
Yes, remember we were very excited about that Lovers card. Major Arcana Lovers.
Yes.
In the position of the unexpected.
Yeah.
And so obviously you're making decisions that had to do with your mate.
Or just decisions between several passions.
Yeah.
Things you're very passionate about and having to choose one way or the other.
And we did have the Queen of Wands opening the entire month. The Queen of Wands.
You were Charlie girl.
Yeah. Able to take care of it.
Yes, all by
Taking
yourself.
care of things. Not unlike the women back here in Egypt.
Not unlike, yes, in fact, you'd be surprised.
Yeah, we have more rights here than they do anywhere else in the world.
Yes, and in fact, it took another, 3,000 years before we gained them back.
Yeah, that's so true. We can own property. We can divorce our husbands.
Yes, and we can choose whatever religion we want to believe in.
That's right.
That's right.
And there is no marriage back here.
And there's no marriage.
We just cohabitate.
Yes.
And then bring their bundles. We check out their bundles.
Yes, to see how much they have in their bundle.
And then if
if there's enough.
If there's enough.
Then we'll say yes.
Yes, and then
that's how it goes.
In they come.
It's a very quickie marriage.
Yeah. Bundle meaning how many goats.
How many goats they have, how much property they come with, how much gold, perhaps. They have
spices, eyeliner, because they wear eyeliner back here.
Oh, yes.
The men do.
Yes.
They're just as vain as we are.
Yes, they're metro.
Metro Egyptian men. It's true.
Yes, it's true.
It's very true.
So, that was what was going on. Pardon me, I didn't mean to move your...
All right, so that was what was going on, but you were the Charlie girl, and the reason why we're bringing up the amazing independence of Egyptian women is that we are celebrating the sacred feminine and re-educating our viewers as to what has gone on throughout the history of the feminine. And
when we,
when we lost power.
When we lost power, how we lost power, and the consequences of that. And so in Egypt, they believed, Trudy, not in the linear movement of time, but in the cyclical movement of time.
That's right.
And when you think about what happened to the honoring of the feminine divine, that it's been cyclical. It had its peak right now in this era.
It did.
And unfortunately,
the Old Kingdom.
Yes, the Old Kingdom.
Yeah.
And then we lost power, and it took another 3,000 years for us to even be acknowledged.
Right. To even to gain the right to vote or the right over our own bodies.
To write, yes, and the right to literally think for ourselves.
Right.
Basically, is how it is.
Yeah. So here we are, 3,000 years back when we had the power. We're independent women back here.
But we were also, we were also very fashion conscious.
Oh yes, absolutely.
In fact, some of our modern fashions have been inspired by the Egyptians.
Oh yeah, Art Deco was a big, Egyptian influence was all over Art Deco in the 20s.
Right.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Here we go. 4-card spread. If you're with us, or if you've been with us in the past, you know that we read the first card, which is the overall month's environment. Second will be challenges, things that may you know, you may have to pay
Obstacles.
attention to.
A
Yes?
few obstacles in your way. in
That's
your
right.
path.
And then we have the unexpected, which is the third position, and then the outcome of the, you know, end of the month. So basically, we'll finish up with a little bit of girl talk, wrap up.
And a recap as well.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
let's start.
All right.
All right.
You ready?
I'm ready. Oh.
Oh. The Empress, Major Arcana Empress. So stock up on those birth control pills, girls, because you are fertile.
Yes.
And if it's not physically fertile, it may mean that you have a fertile imagination, or that this entire month is the month to plant and invest in the future, because whatever you plant will grow.
Yes. I mean, her gown has the emblem of the pomegranate.
That's
on it.
right.
And the pomegranate was used because it has so many seeds. And it's that you're sowing your seeds, the seeds that the seeds of your imagination as well. So,
And also the
And-
Empress is the card of the goddess.
and it is interesting
Earth
that
Mother.
it should be it's the Earth Mother.
Yes.
She is the nurturer as well. She is the one to whom everyone comes for spiritual counsel.
She's Isis.
She's Isis.
Just got a chill.
Well, she and the High Priestess
Yes.
are very emblematic. And you know that,
Mhm.
come to mention it, that the tarot had its roots in the Egyptian culture as well. So it's no wonder that the
Yeah.
symbols correspond to the symbols of ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
But there is a beautiful heart, and there is the symbol of Venus.
Right.
So this is love. This is all things about love,
More
expression of love, the receiving of
the
love.
ability to envelope someone into
Yes.
this sort of
Yes.
breast.
I like that. Envelope instead of envelope.
Yeah,
You
it's
know?
like an envelope
Yes.
that you form around someone, and
Yes.
they're
So
comforted at your breast.
but it's also, yes, it's also you comforting, but it's also you see she's surrounded by wheat, which is a very beautiful symbol, because the wheat is the manifestation of your idea.
It's also bank. Back
It's
in
also bank,
Egypt,
that's true.
we were, you know, it's interesting because in Egypt, the granaries were banks, basically.
Yes, because it was a valuable commodity.
And they would buy and sell via grain. So this
that's
is,
then symbolic of your bank.
yes,
Your
you've got bank.
what
It's true.
they were so cool back then.
Yeah. But it's a great card to start
Yeah.
the month with, and you know, this is the card of the goddess. So
Yes, and she has the zodiac, the
Yeah.
12 stars on that crown her. So she is in touch with her spiritual side. She can use that to nurture and to help and to manifest. Isn't that beautiful?
wow. Okay.
The first card.
That's good.
Oh.
I love it.
So then we move to the second spot, which is challenges. What are your challenges for the month of May, Gemini?
And we have
King of Cups.
oh my. And up comes Brad Pitt.
How could he be a challenge?
Well, it seems as if our
He used to-
beautiful Gemini goddess
Yes.
friends
Yes.
are seen as goddesses.
Yes, they are this month. You're a goddess this
Yes,
month.
someone sees you as a goddess.
Isn't
And
that
in the
beautiful?
challenge position, we have the King of Cups, who is perhaps the person who sees you as a goddess, and maybe you're not ready for that.
Well,
Maybe it's a
no, maybe you see.
to accept.
Well, it's very difficult because you see the King of Cups represents practically all the good qualities of the masculine persona. So
On an emotional
on
standpoint.
an emotional level, that
Right.
is, he's kind, he's imaginative,
He's empathic.
he's empathic,
Something we
he's
girls need.
romantic
Yes.
to the point of poetic
Yes.
excess.
Ooh, I just thought of something when you said that.
What's that?
Poetry.
Poetry.
Okay, this is Gemini.
Yes.
Okay, and you're a Pisces.
I am.
I'm a Gemini.
Uh-huh.
I can tell you that a man like this could be a challenge for a Gemini.
Oh.
Because this stuff can turn us off.
Oh, yes.
I mean, we're suspect of
Yes.
anything that is supposedly overly emotional because we're sword queens.
That's right. So maybe someone will come into your life who exemplifies the qualities of the cup, which is a person who is full of heart.
Comes from the heart.
Comes directly
Right.
from the heart.
So-
He's not interested in seducing your mind.
Mhm.
He's interested in magnetizing your heart.
And that's a challenge.
And that's a challenge.
Yeah,
Now, it could be your father,
it could be.
or it could be anyone within your environment who has these attributes, but who comes from an emotional and watery element. And so he sort of challenges you to go inside of yourself and to really examine your own emotions. And it's sometimes hard for a Gemini because they love to speculate.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know?
They're intellectual signs.
They are.
You know, and the King of Cups is in the upright is a good king. He has a good heart.
He has a good heart.
So for some reason this month that is a challenge.
Yeah.
But let's move on
Let's
and
move
see
on and
what
see.
does this mean.
Yes.
What could it possibly mean?
And to the next position, which is the position of the unexpected.
Right.
Ah.
Ooh, 7 of Wands. Okay, well you're defending something unexpectedly.
Unexpectedly, you're challenged. That is, unexpectedly, you are in the position where you're defending your passions, what you've created, who you are, what you're about,
Right.
what you've done, what you've created. You're defending it and passionately. But you see, he's higher up. His defense is very effective. So it's also a 7, meaning that you are trying to complete something, and at the very end you need to defend an aspect of it in order to get it to. 7s are not the absolute completion of a project. They're just a threshold that you come to where there's a sort of a completion, a certain phase of it that's completed, and now you've got to defend that for some reason.
Well, there's a little frustration in the card too because you've already put forth a lot of effort and energy to create that other 6.
Yes.
And it has a bit of a how dare you?
Yes.
How dare you? You know.
How dare you
Tell
even
me how to do
question,
this? Yes.
What I've done.
Right. Right.
Yes, it's sort of you're really taken aback a little bit, and you're there very aggressively.
Yeah, because he's holding this wand.
He's
and
holding
it's almost
this very much like a shield.
He's sparring.
He's sparring. Oh, that's it.
How
That's
dare
it.
you come at me with that idea? I have my own ideas.
That's right.
Go away with your
away.
unwelcome ideas.
That's it. That's it. Let's see what happens. I can hardly wait.
End of the month.
End of the month. Oh, let's see what happens. I can hardly wait.
End of the month.
End of the month. How interesting.
End of the month is a 4 of Swords. Wow. So there's something that, okay, month of May. This is a happening. This is a little, and we've talked before about how sometimes spreads remind you of like little mini dramas.
Yes.
This is a little mini drama that's going to play out this month.
All right.
And we begin with this beautiful, voluptuous
You're coming into yourself.
sense of, if sexuality even.
And it's a card of sexuality as well, where you, well, more than even sensuality.
And seeing yourself once again as a sensual being
Right.
this month. So your challenge is going to be, and this card just comes after it to reinforce that.
Yes.
That's your challenge, to accept the admiration.
Right. Perhaps the admiration and the
Of-
even the perhaps advice
of men.
of men who are coming from the heart, and you see that the Empress also has a heart right down by her feet.
Yeah.
So she is directly connected to the female principle of love, compassion, and faith, and to allow those aspects of your character to fructify, to bloom,
to fructify.
to fructify. I love the word fructify.
And yeah, and so I start to think of Isis and Horus. Okay.
Yes.
So Isis would be the Empress.
Yes, the Isis would be the Empress, and Osiris would be the King of Cups.
Horus was her son. So Osiris would be the King of Cups, and it's a beautiful reading, because it's basically, hey, as the Empress, as Isis, there are many aspects to your personality.
That's right.
Okay,
That's right.
and so you are a goddess, but you're also a mother.
Right.
And
practically speaking.
Yeah, and you're serving in many roles, which Geminis do just naturally.
Right.
So this is the month to focus upon sexuality.
And I prefer sensuality.
Sensuality.
Because a lot of women don't have a partner to express that. But their sensuality is something that you can cultivate outside of any particular relationship.
Okay, we'll go with sensuality.
All right.
All right.
I won.
Okay. It was that warriors who went to battle, often these people were kings and higher ups, and sometimes even women. Before they would do so, they would commission a coffin or a sarcophagi, especially back here. Back here in Egypt, we start building our sarcophaguses
whatever.
right away. I mean, that's like what we do. But anyway, so you would commission a sarcophagus, and then you would go off to battle. If you came back alive, you would lie on your sarcophagus, and you would review your, I guess, you would review the hurts and the wins, the victory as well as the defeats.
Yes, exactly.
So that the next time you could go out and you also give thanks that you survived.
Oh,
that's a big part of it. I forgot that part.
Oh, that's right.
You have to give thanks for survival, and I think that's what this is about.
Oh, yes, giving thanks for survival, and also taking the time out from everything else that you're doing in order to give yourself time to
heal.
Review and to heal. And that's what it reminded me of, because our time machine had taken us to the commune of Pythagoras. Last month. So we did learn a lot there. And what I believe this card is all about is that Pythagoras prescribed as a rite of passage each day, that at the end of the day, you review that day for what you, and pick out those things where you behaved well and where you didn't. And then that way you prepare and you say, well, I'm never going to do that again. Or I really liked what happened there, and I loved what I did. And that way you grow each day.
Yeah.
And this is about growing out of probably what happened last month.
Right, yeah. Well, last month we had the Lovers.
We had the Lover's Choice.
Yeah, and at the end we had the Sword of Truth,
and
which was the Ace.
Truth,
yeah.
So that you stood up for yourself.
Right, yeah, yeah. And then, the 4 is also, it comes after the 3.
Right.
So the 3 is, we know what that is. That's heartache, divorce, separation, pain, illness. 4 is the card of healing from the 3.
Right. It's 4s are always stable, so and they're always about your mental state. And so it's the restabilization of your mental state through moving into a sanctuary, whether that's a physical sanctuary or an emotional sanctuary of your own, just going inside.
Yeah.
So that's what you'll be doing.
Wow.
How beautiful.
Yeah, hibernating a little bit.
Like a bear.
It's kind of nice. So all in all, it's a great month for you, Gemini. It looks like you're going to have to force yourself out of your, and we had that last month too, out of your, masculine mode.
Yes.
Moving into your sensual
and feminine
mode, which is highlighted by this fella who we like to call Brad Pitt because he's the perfect man.
Yes. every way.
Yes, and so don't let that get under your skin.
Yeah.
And don't think that you have to overly defend yourself,
Right.
or your past accomplishments, or who you are,
yeah.
because you may not even need to do that with this guy.
You may not. Maybe it's just what you're used to.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of used to always having to fight a battle
Yeah.
for what you believe in.
Right?
You know?
And then ending this with the Four of Swords.
Oh, it is. And that's
Healing.
really just healing.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, there's healing, a deep inner healing.
It's beautiful.
It
This
is
is gonna.
truly
This is
beautiful.
gonna.
So yes, take your birth control.
Yeah. So this
Okay.
preempts the healing.
Yes.
Going
yes.
back to the sensual.
Yeah, that is what the healing is about.
yeah.
In fact, is to
Mhm.
reconnect with the deep sensuality that
Yeah.
you have as a female, and
Mhm.
also those elements of compassion, deep compassion, love, and pure faith. Because the female spirit understands faith, a sort of an inner knowing, you know, an inner knowingness.
I love the hands here too.
Oh, isn't that beautiful? Like a namaste. Yeah.
So, if you would like to know more about this reading, Gemini,
Oh, yes.
and who this King of Cups is,
Yes.
or perhaps why you feel you need to defend yourself from the
Of-
perfect man,
From the perfect man.
please go to our website
Yes, virtualtarot.wordpress.com.
and look at, we have
Oh, we have
6,
what?
7 readings, I think.
7 readings.
And these are the questions are derived from, you know, just past questions that we've been asked by our audience.
Yes.
So we feel as if they address your needs. If you have any questions
They
as to
correspond in my mind to the sometimes the houses of the zodiac, in that they represent various areas of life that you may be concerned. Maybe you're concerned with your career, maybe you're concerned with your relationship, maybe you're concerned with your friends, your community, or maybe you're concerned with yourself, which is the first house. So we have 6 different categories in order for you to find that place where you need information, where you need spiritual counsel, and that's what the cards provide.
So please go there. We love doing the readings.
Yes, we do.
Doing them from all over.
All over the world.
Yeah,
in
it's
fact.
exciting.
It's exciting.
And then we also want you to stay tuned,
Oh yes.
because Ava will once again this month narrate a beautiful story, and this month we're really excited to bring Isis to you, the true story of the original
Mother Goddess.
Yes.
And what she represented and why she was revered, and the length of time she was revered is just extraordinary, because she's sort of the longest living female deity that was worshipped throughout ancient Europe and ancient Egypt.
So thanks so much for tuning in.
Thank
Share,
you.
subscribe, go to our Facebook page, and
Yes,
once
if you know-
again,
wait a minute, if you know your rising sign or your moon sign, go to those as
right, and once again,
well. What?
goodbye, Ron Haskell!
Oh, goodbye, Ron. Jeez. He's going to be very happy.
And then I think we have a couple more male fans, so
Yes.
we'll say goodbye to you next month.
Okay.
Bye!
All right. The history of female and mother goddesses help us as women to understand how slowly over time the divinity of women, which had been held in high respect in antiquity, became fractured and eventually lost its value in cultures around the world. Isis, the primary mother goddess of Egypt, is a prime example of this. Isis has been worshipped longer than any other known goddess. From the origin of written history to the 5th century AD, her worship began in ancient Egypt and later spread throughout Asia Minor and Europe. Her religion was a mystery cult in which she was revered as Queen of Heaven,
earth and the underworld. She was the goddess of love and gaiety. She was a powerful and magical healer, gifted with the ability to cure mind, body, and spirit. Isis is regarded as the universal mother. She is often portrayed suckling her son. She was a particular protector and patron of women. Isis guided women in childbirth and comforted women bereaved by the death of loved ones. Her qualities of compassion, tenderness, love, and devotion have endeared her to women throughout the ages. She is a reminder to women of their connection to the All-Goddess and to each other. As a patron of women, she affirms women as great sources of strength, healing, and inspiration for each other. She shows us our own ability to heal ourselves and to heal others. In the 4th century BC, Isis worship reached its greatest peak. There were great temples built to her. The cult of Isis spread from Alexandria throughout the Hellenistic world. After the 4th century BC, it appeared in Greece in combination with the cults of Horus, her son, and Serapis, the Greek name for Osiris. The three-part cult of Isis, Horus, and Serapis was introduced into Rome and became one of the most popular branches of Roman religion. In the 1st century BC, Egypt became a province of Rome under the leadership of Augustus. The Romans ruthlessly extracted money and resources from Egypt. They thrived at great expense to the conquered Egyptians. Over the centuries of Roman domination, people in Egypt and throughout the Mediterranean world sought comfort through the worship of the traditional Egyptian gods, whose mythology embraced a central belief in life after death. In time, the consulship of Rome made efforts to suppress or limit Isis worship. The cult virtually died out after the institution of Christianity, and the last remaining Egyptian temples to Isis were closed in the middle of the 6th century AD. In ancient Greece, the god Zeus emerged triumphant, but there were also several other gods. The male god of the ancient Hebrews, ancient Christians, and ancient Greeks effectively usurped the creative powers of the mother goddess, claiming for himself the female ability to produce offspring. And now, billions of women in the modern world are left without a positive archetype of the feminine divine. The ancient goddess Isis serves to remind us of a time when the female qualities of compassion, tenderness, love, and devotion were revered by mankind, so that now we as women can once again recognize and revere our own feminine divine.